Got a nice putting stroke, Joe.
Thank you. Same line.
Hold your posture and your pose just for a moment or two, and then kind of remember it and copy that. Whatever that felt like, you want to duplicate. Okay, Joe, I'm going to look at your putting stroke, and I tell you, I really like the stroke that you came to the session with. You have a very solid, high-level stroke. Just one small area I'm going to focus on, and that is the putt, hold, and look. When comparing you to Tiger, I think Tiger had, a lot of people believe that Tiger was the best putter of all time. Your setup looks good. You have a nice posture. Your elbows are tucked into your side. Your eyes are over the ball. Good width of stance. All this, you have a very good, solid, fundamentally sound setup position. When Tiger hits the ball, at that moment, his eyes are straight down. And then as the ball leaves the screen, his eyes are still down. He has not yet turned to watch the ball roll towards the hole. His putter has now come to a complete stop. And now that he has held it, he's going to start to turn his head. But while he's turning, he holds his posture and his putter finish, so he does not recoil the putter backwards. So you're not going to see this putter go back this way. He's going to putt, he's going to hold his posture and his finish and his eyes on the ground for a moment or two, and then he will allow himself to turn. But while turning, he doesn't lift up and lose his spine angle. So let's look at what you do. Again, you have a nice stroke. When you hit the ball, your eyes are down, but you do have a tendency to turn your head a little early. Now, the good thing is you don't really lift up and stand up. You kind of hold your spine angle, so that's good. And you hold your finish pretty well. You don't really have much of a recoil also. So your stroke, your forward stroke through the ball is really pretty good. What I want you to just add to that, just a higher level of sophistication, is to train yourself to hold your vision on the grass for a moment or two. Feel the club come to a complete stop in your follow through. And then after you feel that stop, then you can go ahead and turn. But try to get out of the habit of turning immediately upon contact. Believe it or not, it'll really help you develop a really good speed control because your memory of every experience will be fresher, will be more solid in your mind, and you'll just make better guesses at how hard to hit a ball in the future. And here you are doing the cluster drill, and you're doing it really well. You're just putting, holding, then you go to the second ball. I like the fact that you're really holding it, really working on this fundamental. That looks really good, Joe. There you go. That's nice. Joe, your chipping technique is very good. Feet together, choking down, weight on the left side. Very good shoulder swing. You're not wristy or handsy. Excellent technique. Oh, nice golf swing. Very solid. What's the loft of your driver?
Mine is a 9.5.
Okay.
But I think the shift a little bit too whippy.
Is that a regular?
Regular, yeah.
That's a better launch angle. That's the launch angle I want you to start wanting every time. That's a great one. I don't want you to roll through the bunker. I want you to fly over that bunker.
Over the bunker, right.
That's the high. You getting more comfortable with that high tee?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. And the grip, I move it over a little bit.
Okay. That's always something to experiment with, and that'll make the draw come a lot easier. You don't have to think as you're in the swing. It's something you do before you start the swing. Oh, that's really good. Joe, I'm taking a quick look at you compared to Tiger at impact. Impact's the most important position. Everything the golf ball does, how far it goes, how high it goes, how much it spins and curves, is a direct response to the laws of physics and motion that exist at the moment of impact. So if the impact position is solid and fundamental, then what happens before or after impact really doesn't matter. It's having a good impact position. When I look at your impact position, one of the first things I look for is weight distribution. It's the most important. That tells me whether or not you're in a position to hit the ball solid. Hit the ball before you hit the turf. And in order to do that, you have to have the low point of your swing in front of the ball. And in order to have the low point in front of the ball, you have to have your weight on your left foot. The average pro on tour will have 85 to 90% of their weight on their left side at impact. And they will have their hands in front of the ball at impact. And that's what allows that low point to be in front of the ball, so they can hit down on the ball 3 or 4 or 5 degrees and hit the balls with a nice little divot. You obviously have the majority of your weight on your left side. When I look at Tiger, that red line off of his left ankle is going right through the center of his belt buckle, right through the center of his hips, but it's also going right through the center of your hips. So you do have a large majority of your weight on your left side at impact, which is one of the key fundamentals to being a good ball striker when the ball's in the ground. And it also is an important part, even though with a driver you're off a tee and you're not taking a divots, that is also a solid fundamental for just having a good power swing, getting your weight to the left side. So there's a lot of good things going on here. And my philosophy in teaching is that I want to help people shoot lower scores. I want to fix ball flight errors that cause high scores. And once a ball flight error is identified, I will then look for swing mechanics that are missing or that are flawed that's causing that ball flight error. I did not see ball flight error on your part. That's attributed to a missing fundamental. There might be ball flight errors due to inconsistency because maybe we don't get the chance to practice as much as we would like. But I did not witness the types of ball flight errors that would result in you having to be in some sort of a lesson program. The only changes we made was with your putting. Made a small change there when I would like you to continue to do the putt, hold, and look. I did not make any adjustments in your chipping. You had an excellent chipping technique. If you have some bad days with that, I think it's simply a matter of practicing. If you want to shoot lower scores, I think you need to dedicate yourself to a serious practice routine. But you're just simply going to practice what you already know. You don't need to shoot lower scores. You don't need to learn new stuff from me. Now, if the wheels fall off and you really start having some issues that you can't figure out, I can figure them out for you, and I'd be glad to help you with that. But right now, I'm not seeing that issue. The only thing that did concern me a little bit was your discussion about maybe wanting to change drivers, and it sounded like you might were considering going to a stiffer flex. I would caution you about that. I am a club fitter. I played a regular flex driver, and when I was younger I played a stiff flex driver, but I was losing distance, so I went to a regular and got my distance back. It won't be long, in a couple of years I'll probably go to a senior flex. If you go to a stiffer shaft driver, you will more than likely lose distance. You will not be able to load that shaft sufficiently to get enough of a kick out of the shaft. And everybody needs to swing a shaft that they can load the optimal amount so that they get the correct kick out of that shaft. If you get a shaft too stiff, you're not going to load it enough, and you will lose distance. It may feel good to you, but it's just not going to produce the distance you need. There are some new drivers out there that perform better, and I certainly welcome you to check those out, but don't just buy off the rack. You want to get fitted. If you go to Callaway, talk to Chris O'Connor. He's an assistant that works for me, but he's full-time at Callaway, and he's an excellent club fitter. And but I play a 10.5 driver, and I play a regular flex driver. I would lose distance with a 9.5. You want to look at spin rate. Now, I do have a Doppler radar, a flight scope Doppler radar, which is a sophisticated machine that'll tell me club speed, ball speed, tack angle, spin rate. It gives me all the numbers, and I would be glad to have you hit some drives with my flight scope if you were curious about some of the numbers that you're producing, your impact numbers that you're producing with your driver. But I would say only recommendation I have with you is to maybe put yourself on a practice routine, and that will probably do you a better service to creeping that score down than some sort of a lesson routine. Now, the only thing I did change with the driver was I had you tee it up higher. The ball flight that I saw with your driver was you were hitting it too low. And obviously here in Vegas there's going to be times you want to hit it low, but I want your natural stock driver launch angle to be more like what we were seeing when you teed it up higher. So that I want you to hit up on the driver, not down on the driver, and that'll help reduce your spin as well. I enjoyed working with you and hope to have an opportunity to maybe we can play golf sometime. And as I said before, if the wheels come off and you really start having some wrinkles in your game, and that happens to everybody, please give me a call. I'll be glad to help you.